Hello, this is Jess. This is chat session number 86. It's January 25th, 2018, Thursday. And we're going to go right into the tidbits of history on this day. 1905. At the Premier Mine in Pretoria, South Africa, a 3,106 carat diamond is discovered during a routine inspection by the mine superintendent. Weighing 1.33 pounds and christened the Cullinan, it was the largest diamond ever found. Sir Thomas Cullinan owned the mine, and when they decided they were going to ship it out, they decided to send a decoy ship full of security people as a decoy to prevent the theft of the massive diamond, and then they just mailed the diamond in a regular box to England. When it got to there, Joseph Asheer, head of the Asheer Diamond Company of Amsterdam, was chosen to cut the diamond. He actually studied the diamond for 6 months before attempting the cut. The first attempt broke the steel blade and nothing happened to the diamond at all. The second cut shattered the diamond exactly as planned, and it is said that Asheer fainted from a nervous exhaustion after the diamond shattered. There was a few big diamonds that came out of the mix, and they're now on display in England, some historical place in England. Alright. Now we're going to go to 1980. Paul McCartney's arrival at Tokyo's Narita International Airport on January 16, 1980 marked his first visit to Japan since the Beatles tour of 1966. The plan was an 11-city concert tour by his band Wings. Instead, Paul's visit was limited to a 9-day stint in the Tokyo Narcotics Detention Center, which ended on this day in 1980. He was released. He landed, and when they went through his bags and everything, they found a half-pound of marijuana, which they're real strict in Japan, and it could have led to a 7-year prison sentence. But instead, just after 9 days, he was quickly deported. And the reasoning was the fan base of Paul McCartney was causing distractions to Japan's justice system. So yeah, if somebody like Paul McCartney, I guess if you get in trouble, you have a fan base that's going to raise levels of disturbance, and Japan just decided to wash their hands of it all and let him come back, or let him get out of that country, never to return, was the situation as far as I understand. And that's the history for today. I'd like to talk about work, and maybe I'm old school, and I did find out that Texas doesn't necessarily support my views on this, but I got into a little bit of dispute with my plant supervisor because after working 4 hours, we generally take a 15-minute break, but now they're deciding, since we leave at 3 o'clock and the break is until 2, we're supposed to just work straight through until 3 and then go home. It may not be like a big deal, but I'm standing the whole time, and after 4 hours, I think I deserve a break. It's only 15 minutes, but man, when you're on your feet for 4 hours and you get a 15-minute chance to sit down for 15 minutes, it's, in my opinion, it's something that we shouldn't lose just because they want to send us home at 3 o'clock. I'm not sure of anyone else's opinion on that, but I know that I give them a very, very dedicated effort when I'm there on the clock, and I think it should only be rewarded with that opportunity to get that 15-minute break. Now, I am flexible. They've done things like this where we come in at 4 o'clock and we're supposed to take a lunch at 4 hours, but they say to keep it normal we're going to push it to 9, and I work through that. I have issues, but I don't say a word. I work through them. But this break after 4 hours, and and like I said, I feel like I give the right effort, and I do more than what they ask for in my footage that they require for cutting per hour, due to whatever situations having to do with my job. And so I think it would only be appropriate if a company cared about their employees, that they would see that, hey, they did put in 4 hours, let's give them a break. And a lot of people may say, oh, he's just a whiny person or whatever, but I also know what happens when they say, hey, we're not going to take a break. Everybody just, not everybody, but the majority of people are going to get their 15 minutes one way or another, so they might as well just give it to us, so that when we come back to work, we come back to work. Instead of saying, oh, we're not getting a break, and then everyone just likes that last hour just sort of rides. They don't really get a lot done. It's ridiculous. It's a wrong way of thinking, in my opinion. I think that if you work hard and you're used to getting a break after 4 hours, they shouldn't just be able to, on a whim, say, no, we're not going to do that. And unfortunately for me, I am, like I said, I could be old school on this, but most companies back when you work, they gave you a break in the morning. Like if you work a day shift, you get a 15-minute break in the morning, then you get an hour lunch, and then you get a 15-minute break in the afternoon. Now that's all changed. We don't get that break. We've come in, we go straight 4 hours, get a lunch, and then work another 4 hours, and supposed to get a break. But they decide if we're going to leave an hour later that we don't need one, and I just feel that's a reflection of the company and their attitude towards their employees. So I'm not saying my time is limited there, but I will not be walked upon. I'm too old for this. I have had surgery on my leg. I mean, I'm trying to do these 14-hour, 13-hour days, and only get one break and one lunch, and I just feel that if they expect us to stay past 2, that we should get a 15-minute break. It's just plain and simple. Now, my boss today, he wasn't happy about that I even challenged it, so he just sent me home at 2, so I got off at 2 o'clock instead of 3. So I lost an hour's worth of pay, and it hurt me, but at the same time, the principle that after 4 hours of working hard, that I feel like I should get a deserved 15-minute break. I'm not asking for more than that. I'm not saying, because sometimes we take a break at 2 and then we stay till 6, and I don't ask for another break. I don't ask for extra stuff, but apparently they can just change their mind, and it just didn't sit well with me, and I spoke up, and I got sent home at 2 o'clock. So you get punished for trying to have principles and trying to have fairness in the workplace, and I understand, hey, it's their company, these supervisors make these calls, they get to go in their office and sit down, and I've been a supervisor, I've been manager, I've been district manager, that kind of thing, and what happens is I'm more of a human person when it comes to management, and I think it's fair that if employees, after a certain amount of time on the clock, they've given an effort, and they're going to work a certain amount of time, I would say, hey, take a break, get away from there for a minute and come back to it, 15 minutes. But that's a big deal for the company I work for. They don't want to do that. They just want you to work straight through, get that extra hour, and not have to pay us for a break. again, it's their company and the managers that are making these decisions, but I don't think it's right. And enough about that. I'm not going to whine about that or anymore, but I just feel like there should be some kind of fairness in the workplace concerning when you work a certain amount of time, that you should be able to take a breather from your position, especially in a factory like what I do, factory work. I'd like to say, hey, to Jeremy Woodall, hoping things are going well for you with all your musicianship stuff that you got going on, and I wish you the continued success. Good job, Jeremy Woodall. I'd like to say hello to Ricky Bobby, co-worker, and I'd like to again say hello to Austin, drumming away over there in Houston. I'd like to say hello to Neil out in Georgia, playing that guitar. Got a lot of stuff going on there. Probably one of the better guitar players out there. Just thought I'd throw that in there for him. He's a virtuoso. All right, this is Jess, chat session number 86. It's like I said, Thursday. It's probably around 9 o'clock. I'm having to go and turn in some paperwork at my job concerning all these medical bills that I got for my medical situation that I had, and I missed 2 months of work and blah blah. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on there. Be truthful, be happy, and let's look out for each other, okay? Have a great Thursday morning.